my best friends, my close friends, they love me anyway. They're not like, I'm cutting you off. I know when I come out of my shell, when I'm done with my self-healing, they're still my friends.
Yeah.
It's not like she weird, I'm done with her.
Yeah.
Like they love me
That's
anyway.
so good.
And so I give that same love back. If you didn't call me when you said you were going to call, or if you didn't show up in this way, I still love you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just love them. Love
Yeah.
your friends.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Let's Talk Sis. I'm Shekinah, your host, and as we spend time together, I can promise you three things. I'll be honest, I'll make you laugh, and I won't hold back. Let's Talk Sis is your essential girl talk destination where you'll hear about life from the perspective of a Black woman in America, as our stories often go untold. I can assure you, while honest, we are a community for growth and love. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Now sit back, relax, and let's talk, sis. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Sis. Y'all know I'm always super excited to have you in the building, and I'm really grateful that you decided to spend your time with me and this beautiful young lady I have with me today. Every week, y'all know I'm trying to bring powerhouse Black women to the stage so we can learn from them, hear from them, and today I got my girl Taire Stevenson. How you doing, lady?
Oh, I'm good.
So it's been like 10 years almost that we've known each other. I'm
10
like,
years. I was thinking about that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been about 10 years since we met. So Taire and I met actually working per usual, right? That's all we do, working girls, working at the front desk of a hotel, the Radisson.
Yep.
And Taire had this, first of all, she has this amazing personality where that smile, she's just always smiling, but she will get you together, okay? And that's what I loved.
Oh.
That's what I loved. I love people because my first inclination isn't necessarily to tell somebody what it is, but I love people who bring that out of me, right? Who allow me to like tell you what's really going on. And Taire has that type of energy. She on that type of time. What you think?
Hey, no further communication is
A
necessary.
period over a charger. Okay, Taire had us on block over a charger. Who drank my apple juice? Type energy.
Ready. I've grown, y'all. I've grown.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're gonna talk about. And I don't blame you, but ever since meeting her, I just knew she was somebody special. She always welcomed me, literally with open arms. We would always hug each other and embrace. And we were each other's confidants and working. And over the years, we've kept up with each other and encouraged each other on social media. And she is pursuing her dreams and her passions and her skills. Not only is this something that she likes to do, but she's excellent at it, being a professional makeup artist. So I just want to chat with her today. But before I do that, I got to read her bio. It's time for Go Off Sis. This is my opportunity to tell y'all just the caliber of women that we are working with here on the Let's Talk Sis podcast. So, Taire Stevenson is a passionate and professional beauty artist with a deep love for the art of transformation through glam. With over 8 years of experience in the beauty industry, she has honed her skills to bring out the unique beauty in every client she works with. Taire believes that beauty should not only enhance physical appearance, but also boost confidence and reflect individuality. Her approach is always client centric, prioritizing the client's visions, needs, and comfort. Whether it's for a special event or a photo shoot or simply a well deserved makeover, Taire works closely with her clients to create customizable looks that highlight their very best features and leave them feeling their absolute best. Whoop, 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 whoop. Shout out to you, girl.
Hey.
How does it feel when you hear your bio back? Like, what is that feeling when people are giving you your flowers, reading your accolades?
Honestly, I have a moment of like, wow, I'm really doing this. Even
Yeah.
sometimes during weddings, I'll be doing the bride's makeup and I'm like, I'm really doing this.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I got the job at Clinique? You
Mhm.
are one of the first people that came up there to let me do your makeup. And I just think back to those days like, man, I didn't think I would be here. Like I
Yeah.
didn't, and this is amazing.
So when you were at the hotel, did you think this is something I'm doing until I become a beauty artist, or was it something that like happened upon you? Like what sparked that initial entry into this industry?
Yeah, so I've always been into beauty, like into makeup. And I think I just didn't know I wanted to be a makeup artist.
Mhm.
I knew I wanted to do something on the business side of it. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And
Okay.
I remember at the time, I was just looking into ways to pick up jobs at beauty counters. And so that's
Okay.
where I found the job at Clinique, just because I wanted to get my foot in the door and get that experience. And
Hmm.
my manager at the time, I remember when I started, she had me do everyone's makeup that came in.
Yeah.
Like every person that came in, she had me doing all the makeovers. And I was like, why does she have me doing everybody's makeup?
Yeah.
Now I look back, I needed that. So now I'm able to work with all skin tones, textures. I can do anyone's makeup. So I
Period.
really appreciated those beginning opportunities that really helped me to learn.
Yeah.
And yeah. I
Awesome.
didn't know I wanted to be a makeup artist down the road. I just knew I wanted to do something in the beauty industry.
And then you just kind of fell into being great, pretty much is what you're saying.
Yeah. I still have the picture of when I did your makeup all those
I do
years.
too. Oh, I live for that picture. And that was 8 years ago. So I'm ready to get these new and enhanced home skills to beat this
Yes.
face up. So I'm
Yes.
ready for that. So I already started getting into your business a little bit, but I do have an icebreaker question I want to ask you. So today's icebreaker question is, have you ever reconnected with someone after time and space, and was it worth it? Now, this could be a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family member, anything.
Ooh. It's a good question. Yes, I have. So my best friend,
Mhm.
we didn't talk for I want to say almost 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And let me put a pin in that. So I learned this concept from my mom. My mom is in her 70s and she's had friends that she's had since she was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I asked her a long time ago, how did you maintain those friendships all
Mm-hmm.
of those years? I mean, they went through decades
Yeah.
together. She talked about how one of her friends, they had a moment they didn't talk for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's just friendships have different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think of this particular friend, we had a fallout
Mm-hmm.
and it was a nasty fallout, but that time and space apart, we grew as individuals.
Yeah.
And so I really feel that we needed that time and space apart because our friendship wouldn't be as strong as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And that person is one of my best friends.
What do you think, and maybe not necessarily individually, but more so generally, do you think changed in that time that allowed you guys to come back together, whereas you weren't able to before?
I think not being in the heat of the moment,
Right.
not screaming at each other, and just being able to take that time away to set aside our egos and
Mm-hmm.
to have different experiences that made us look at the situation, have a different perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
to me, I really feel like we needed that. If we didn't have that moment, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think our friendship would be where it is now.
Yeah, that's deep, and that setting aside of egos is so interesting, the process, because like you're saying, in the heat of the moment, it's impossible. Like you can't. You're wrong, I'm right. Move on, whatever else you're trying to talk about, right? Like you can't, it's hard to really see where you may have gone wrong or could have done something better, or misstepped, or whatever the thing is. It's very hard to see that in the moment. So when it's meant to be, it'll be. And so thankfully y'all came back and it all worked out together. So shout out to best friend.
Yeah.
So you recently have lost. I was scrolling on Instagram, scrolling and Tyree is not posting. Like she's posting on social media often and in the gym, doing clients' faces at a wedding here and there. And all of a sudden I look up and also body has always been T, okay?
Thank you.
I looked up and I seen Tyree looking like half the size she was before, body even more tea, like she done added some lemon and sugar in that thing, so now it's extra good. And I'm like, wait, what had happened? Like, because most times when people do these body transformations, it's like they duck off for a little minute. You don't really see them. And then all of a sudden, a whole person lighter type thing. So I
Yep.
was like, where was I at? How did I miss this? But I see you told me that you have recently lost 40 pounds. That
Yep.
is incredible. How did you do that? Tell me your business.
Thank you. So, yeah, I'm very open and honest about it.
Mhm.
So, at the start of the year, actually, let me go back. So, the last 2 years,
Mhm.
I see myself just really, I gained a lot of weight. I was
Yeah,
enjoying food, I was
same
drinking.
girl.
Girl, it just got so out of hand.
Yeah.
And I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. When I looked at myself and when I would take pictures, I did not like what I saw. And
Right.
I had that aha moment
Mhm.
when one of my clients had a photographer at her wedding, which they all do.
Mhm.
But this particular wedding, I attended it
Mhm.
and as a guest. And I was just taking pictures. I was like, oh yeah, I got this bad dress
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and when I saw the pictures, I was like,
Yes.
oh, I didn't realize how out of hand it had gotten. And I
Yeah.
never posted this picture, but that was my aha moment. Like, all right, change needs to come soon. So at the start of the year, you know how everybody have their New Year's resolutions where
Right.
like, oh, I want to dress better. I want this.
A
I
new
want
year,
all
new me.
New Year, new me, all of these material things. I was like, I don't want to look a certain way. I want to be that. And I feel like the people that live the happiest lives, they're just really into their health. They're into just not posting
Yeah.
everything on social media, but just really locking into their life and not sharing every single thing. And so, but they're putting in the work. That's number
Yeah.
one. And so I said a prayer at the start of the year. I was like, God, this is what I need. I have to do these
Mhm.
things for myself. I made my list of goals. I
Mhm.
prayed to God and I said, please put me in positions where I can accomplish these goals. I don't want to look a certain way. I want to be a certain way. I want to be
Yeah.
here. I want to have all of these things, like actually have it without looking like I have it. And so I was scrolling on TikTok. Girl, I've tried probably every weight loss program.
Mm.
I've had trainers, and I would lose 5 pounds and then gain 10 pounds
Mhm.
back. It's like nothing's working. I
Mhm.
saw a girl on TikTok that she showed she went to Medi Weight Loss. It's a
Mm.
clinic. And I was like, I never really thought about going to an actual weight loss clinic. So I
Mhm.
started doing research and I'm thinking, I don't know exactly what their program is, but give me a semi-glutide. I want
Okay.
that. I
Okay.
was dead set on that. I was like,
Okay.
only thing that's gonna work because I've tried everything. Nothing worked for me.
Mhm.
So I had my consultation call with them, or my consultation, the initial appointment. And when I did that, the person they assigned me to, she said, look, we could easily give you the semi-glutide. Obviously it's more money into our business, but
Right.
looking at your goals, everything you need, I don't think you need that
Mhm.
semi-glutide. I think you can really sit down with us. We'll write you out a meal plan. We want to know the timeline of like where you want to be with your weight loss journey. And let's sit down and let's come up with a plan.
Mhm.
And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. I'll try
Mhm.
her meal plan. If it don't work, I want the semi-glutide. She was
Okay.
like, okay, okay,
Right.
deal. tried it out and I was like, dang, like it really just worked for me. And that's where I did the whole dry January, February, and March. I didn't have a single drink.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Because the first week of the plan, you can't have alcohol. And
Hmm.
so once I saw the way I felt that first week, I was like, damn, I feel good.
Yeah.
Like I feel amazing. And so I was like, I can do this another week, another one, another one. And it was my choice to go 3 months not drinking. I did their meal plan and I was dropping weight and it was staying off. And
Nice.
so I have a friend or an old coworker who he's a trainer. He was like, look, I'll write you out a meal plan, or I'm sorry, a workout plan. He wrote out the workout plan for me. I started on his plan and I was like, okay, I'm starting to look good. Okay. So
Mm,
after 15 pounds, people started to notice. Other people were like, what you doing? You look a little bit different. I saw my face starting to slim up. And just from there, when I saw it was working, I was like, okay, I can do this. And
yeah.
the meal plan was very, very hard. It was
Yeah.
hard the first week,
What did it
but
look like? What were you eating, not eating?
it was low carbs,
Hmm.
little to no carbs. So the first when you first start the program is no carbs, and then you incorporate carbs slowly.
Mm.
But you have a certain amount of calories that you can eat a day, which was much lower than what I was eating because
Hmm.
I get down with food.
Okay.
So,
Period. Yeah.
so I looked at that plan like, oh shoot, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but
Yeah.
I just stuck to it and just took it 1 week at a time.
Nice. That's awesome. Congratulations for you because
Mm.
I totally relate to every single thing you just said. I've never been skinny and I've also never been 1000% satisfied with my body. Like I've accepted my body, I've embraced my body and I've leaned into it. So a little bit too much that I done leaned into a size 22. I'm just be
Yeah.
honest and put it
Yeah.
out there, but everything you were saying about, okay, one day I just looked in the mirror and I'm just like, yeah, no, not it. Not
Mm.
it. I can't deal with this version of me, right? Like other ones, okay, I got a little pooch here, I got a little roll there. Okay, maybe I can handle that. I can deal with that. I can tuck it in, I can hide it. But also like you're saying, it's not just about looking like I'm a certain way, it's about being a certain way. Because with the little roll and the little tuck, I could just tuck it in and hide and I could look snatched. But
Yep.
when I actually, right? And so recently, I too myself have been trying to, well, I have been working out every single day consistently,
Yes, girl, I've been
doing
seeing your series on TikTok. I'm like, yes.
yes, I also realize I need accountability. That's something that I'm learning in my life as I've gotten older. I need accountability. And I think part of the reason I got here physically is for lack of, right? Because like you said, I enjoy food and I enjoy it, right? I didn't never limit myself, oh, you shouldn't have that, or you should maybe not eat all of that, or maybe not this girl. It was never that. It was, I'm grown, I can do what I want, I'm gonna eat what I want because it's what I want, right? As opposed to having that accountability, like, well, maybe we should reframe it like this. And there is a certain amount of calories that you should try to stay within to, X, Y, and Z, and having those numbers, like you're saying, how many calories should I eat? What is my workout plan? Wearing, this Apple Watch telling me it's time to stand up, or you can still close your rings, or whatever. Those little nuggets of accountability really help me as well. So when I lose 40 pounds, I'm gonna be all over the gram too. Trust me.
Yes, period. But also, I was really honest with myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
I tried everything. So many people were like, all you got to do is this. All you have
Yeah.
to do is look this up.
Mm.
No, for me, I was like, I will invest in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. I needed the help. And I
Yeah.
started having health problems. So
Mm.
when I started gaining a lot of weight, I started having like problems with my knees. I couldn't move
Same.
around as much.
Yeah.
Weddings I would be beat. I would do
Oh my
like
gosh,
a
girl.
day of work, and normally I would still have energy. I was exhausted, and
I
I
was
just
like turning
like,
into the cliche of like you getting older. Like, no,
yes, yes.
no.
Hmm.
Like, but feeling it like, yeah, my ankle's hurting, my knees
Ankles.
hurting. I live on the third floor. It's not fun to wear heels
Me
no
too.
more. I'm tired, like exhausted from movement tired, but also like sleepy girl tired. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah, you notice the quality of life just is not there. And
Mhm.
too, for me, there's this whole other piece that's a little more spiritual on this obedience journey, that I'm on. You mentioned, you kind of pray to God. These are kind of some of the things that I want. And for me, my experience of that is, I am now trying to seriously pursue a career in public speaking, right? I've had this podcast, for a couple of years now, and just have play my hand in like the marketing field. And I actually still work with clients on branding and doing brand clarification and all of that. But I am so passionate about speaking. Like, I will be on a microphone, whether I'm hosting, whether I'm doing a keynote, whatever. And God really revealed to me, like, for me, He's going to do His part in terms of setting me up, getting me booked, making me successful, traveling across the world, getting the contracts to the numbers that I want them to be. He's like, He's going to do His part. But He was like to me, if you want to enjoy this, daughter, you're gonna have to get that body together. You're gonna have to, one, because you need to be physically healthy. Like, you need to be able to have the stamina, right, to do these events, to potentially walk around or be on stage talking and not be winded and sweating just because you're big. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna want to need to be able to do that. And two, you're gonna want to be able to look how you want to. You're going to be on stages, you're going to be on pictures, you're going to be, and there's a little vanity and pride to that a little bit, but it's also, He knows that that's something that's important to me. Like, I do want to feel confident in my body. I want to feel good in my clothes and how I look in pictures, and being in these rooms, because that plays a part in how you show up in the room, right? Am I cowering back? Oh no, you guys go ahead, just because I don't want to be seen, trying to hide in my own body, versus walking into a room confidently, and not because you think you're the baddest, but because you feel good in your skin, right? In your body. There's not a number or something in particular, like, a, you know what I mean, like a final destination of, oh, I'm weighing 100 pounds, I made it. But no, I feel good, I feel confident in these clothes and in the way that I look, and sit in this chair and all the things. So that was kind of the spiritual awakening that I had for me. Like,
I
you're
love
only
that.
gonna go as far as you take your health in. And I want to have kids someday too, right? So you got
Yeah.
to get this body ready for all of that. So enough about me. This is about you,
I
right?
love that. I love that.
So thank you. So we kind of talked about this a little bit in our icebreaker, but you reconnecting with friends and over time and how that's been. But I want to talk today and really get into friendship. I'm about to be 30 this year. You've been in your 30s for a few
Oh,
years.
welcome to the 30s club.
Yes. And I'm excited, right? I'm really excited. Like, I feel like this new chapter is going to be everything for me. Again, I'm turning into a cliche, but I'm really excited for my 30s. But I do want to talk about like friendship, because what would you say is the biggest difference between your friendships now in your 30s as opposed to in your 20s?
Mhm. That's a great question. I think that the biggest difference is there's more substance to my friendships. There's more, it's not just, oh, this is my friend that I go to the club with. Like, no, it's that real solid, there's substance to my friendships. And so, like, one thing is social media gives a lot of trash advice on
Mm,
friendships. I
mm-hmm.
remember a few years ago, I had this therapist that talked about your friend is not going to be a great friend the entire duration of the
Right.
friendship. You have to give grace.
Yes.
Social media is like If your friend claps for 2 seconds instead of 5 seconds, they're not your real friend.
Yes,
If your
yes,
friend
yes,
don't like every single post, share it, comment this,
yes,
that, they're not your real friend. And it's like,
yes,
damn, maybe they didn't see the post.
yes, correct.
It's
Maybe,
like
right? Maybe they're
crazy.
going through their own things.
Maybe they're going through something.
Yeah.
That therapist she gave an example. She talked about how there was a birthday that her friend didn't show up for her, and she was so upset. Her friend didn't go to her gathering, and her friend was going through something. It was very personal, but she was at home crying and dealing with it, and couldn't get out of bed.
Mhm, mhm,
So it was just when she told that story, I was like, wow,
mhm, mhm,
that like you
mhm.
have to give people grace. And then I
Yeah,
had a lesson of my own. I'll be very transparent about it. Being away from home and I'm single, I spent a lot of holidays by myself.
yeah.
So yeah, I had a friend who is aware of that, and she was my best friend. And I was so mad at her that she didn't call me on Christmas.
Mm,
Christmas Day came. I always cook a meal. Maybe I'll do
mhm,
my rounds at people's houses, but for the most part, I spend holidays alone. So this friend didn't call, and I was
mhm.
mad. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go off because oh Tyree, tell it like
Right,
it."
right, right. Y'all should
I was
know.
like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell her about herself. How could she not call me?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it's like God laid it on me not to address it.
Mm,
I didn't say nothing. A few
mm-hmm.
days later, she reached out. She was like, hey, girl, I'm so sorry. I've been MIA. I have a family member that passed away on the holiday,
Mm.
one that she was really close with.
See.
And I was like, thank God I didn't.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give people grace.
Mm-hmm. And I think what's hard is in that grace, we have to be vulnerable, right? Because we have to be willing to say, hey, friend, you not calling me made me feel away. What had happened? You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, I was looking for you on Christmas and you didn't call me. What's going on? But we often don't get to that conversation of, well, you didn't show up, so what's going on, right? We often just create a narrative. Well, she knows Christmas. She knows she's supposed to call me. She know da 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 da,
She was
right?
looking at me in that pink shirt the other day. I ain't like how she was eyeing me. And then you start kind of playing different conversations you had with her where she was being weird. This
Exactly.
is some
All kind of
bullcrap.
stuff, right? And it's like, why is that so, and I struggle with that. I'm not gonna lie, I really do struggle with that vulnerability piece in friendship because I think I've had really close friends and I've had some really great friendships and over the years, right? But I find it hard to definitively say, like, so and so is my best friend. And when I say that, the best friend piece implies a level of closeness, and vulnerability. And I feel almost sister like quality that should be there. I have some really, 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 really good friends. Like when we get together, it's like nothing ever stopped, but I think part of that too is my response and my fault. Like I don't tell people basically in so many words, hey, I would like to be closer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I would like for us to go deeper in this relationship, or I would like for us to talk more or set aside something. Like I don't say that. I don't do that. It's like, no, it's fine. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to go to therapy and work on that, but I really shy away from that part in the relationship.
Mm. Okay.
Um, so what would you say like being a good friend looks like now? Like what is a good friend to you? Because speaking, of that kind of stuff, like speaking up or making time for people, because there's this whole idea on TikTok too, these two sides of a low maintenance friendships, and friendships shouldn't have to be all this high maintenance. In terms of keeping up with people, right? How do you feel about that and what makes a good friend?
I think that grace and acceptance. So for me, I go into my shell and I disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's not the best thing, right? If you're
Yeah.
my friend. My friends, my best friends, my close friends, they love me anyway. They're not like, I'm cutting you off. I know when I come out of my shell, when I'm done with my self healing, they're still my friends.
Yeah.
It's not like she weird, I'm done with her.
Yeah.
Like they love me
That's
anyway.
so good.
And so I give that same love back. If you didn't call me when you said you were going to call, or if you didn't show up in this way, I still love you anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just love them, love
Yeah.
your friends.
And
And it,
oh, go ahead.
friendships to me, like the whole low maintenance and high maintenance friendships, you're going to have seasons of low maintenance and high maintenance in one friend. So
Mhm.
social media can be good, but some of the advice is like, come on
Yeah.
now.
And see, to me, the best friends are those that you can be your full self around,
Mhm.
regardless of when the last time we talked was, regardless of how long we talked for, if I called you on your birthday or your anniversary or your dog's birthday or not. When we are together, when we chat, when we get on that line, when we get in that room, we can be our full selves, whatever that looks like in that moment, right? And sometimes it's just turn up, shots all around. But sometimes it's like, girl, let's just sit on this couch and watch a movie and cry. You know what I'm saying? Or let's go
And
for a
holding you
walk.
accountable, because
Huh?
in holding you accountable,
And
because
holding you accountable. And that is the biggest piece of friendship where I feel lacks when you talk about good friends. Do you watch The Housewives?
Atlanta sometimes
Have you been
I'm
watching the
in and
season
out,
lately?
not the newest
No.
season.
Okay, well, Shamia, Portia, right?
Yeah.
So they're in conflict this season about their friendship because Shamia has is now a full-time housewife, right? But she is now just is now that she's a housewife taking it upon herself to address Portia in the in her feelings of not being respected, not being heard as a friend over the years, right? And Portia didn't do much to dispel those rumors and make us believe that that wasn't the dynamic. But
Mhm.
to her credit, she's in the filming, she's going through a divorce. She got her baby daddy filming with another castmate, and now her quote best friend is trying to come for her on this TV show, right? And so when you were speaking on accountability, I think Shamia got this lapdog title because she failed to hold Portia accountable in a lot of situations, and there's this like, is she a good friend? Did she hold her down? Or was she not holding her accountable? Like Portia literally said about one of the castmates, oh, I should F her husband. She better quit playing before I F her husband. And Shamia, as a married woman, is sitting there right there. So it's like, does a good friend in that situation, girl, yeah, you should. Or, come on now, Portia, now that's too far. You know, what do you
Well,
do?
I will say with my
On
one of
TV.
my best friends, Wolf, we've never been on TV, but I don't think she would do that's crazy to address me on TV. I
Yeah,
think your friend should hold you accountable behind closed doors when it's just you and her. Hey friend, what you did was eh.
right.
Yeah, my one of my best friends, yeah, she'll call me, Tyree, I need you to listen to what I'm about to say. It's going to be uncomfortable for you. You're not going to like it, but I
Mhm.
need you to listen to it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I commit to keeping my mouth closed and letting her get it out. And
Right.
through those conversations, because she's a friend that's brutally honest. She don't care. If it hurts my feelings, she like, I'm gonna say it. I have to be honest with you.
And
And
I'll move on.
yeah. And we're still friends after that. And
Mhm.
she'll get online and she'll share my pictures of clients and talk about I'm so proud of my best friend because she is. Like
Yeah.
I know that love is genuine. Behind closed doors, she
Yeah.
will hold you accountable like, "Hey, I didn't like what you did with this," or "Hey, you shouldn't do this. That's beneath you."
Yeah. And
She'll
that's
hold you
beautiful.
accountable in that way. It's really hard to hear in the moment sometimes, but I don't get mad. I don't get combative. I sit there and I listen and I take it
Mhm.
in.
And that's
And
and that's
sometimes we'll stay
real
together.
grown woman. That's a real grown woman because it's hard to hear about yourself. It's hard to hear feedback, whether it's accurate or inaccurate. And I was just watching Megan Ashley's podcast, and her mom was on there, and her mom was saying God has, given this to her, but for her to consider everything, whether or not she agrees with your feedback, but to consider it, right? To just take a moment. Was I a little over the top, or could I have said this better? And sometimes it's like, hell no, I said what I said, and what I said was what it was. you
Yeah.
know Sometimes it's like, okay, girl, you didn't eat, you on your period, and you need some
Sometimes that's
water,
all
so
it
you
is.
you most definitely cussed them out, and they most definitely didn't deserve it, and you owe them an apology, right? So that's to your point of hearing feedback from your friends. It's worth considering, right? Obviously the source and all of that, but it's at least worth the consideration. So okay, so the last question I want to ask you is, how do you know when it's time to end a friendship? Because sometimes you've put time in, years, relationships, etc., but she's just not the girl for you. So, or guy for you. How do you know when it's time to cut them off?
Yes. Look at their intention. If they're like just intentionally trying to hurt you, disrespect you, go out of their way to do something that they know will hurt
Yes.
you, that's not your friend. And like for me in particular, I can handle if you made a mistake, I can forgive you for that. But when you're like, I am going to intentionally hurt you, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to intentionally harm you, or that's
Mm-hmm.
not my friend.
Has that happened to you before? Have you
Yes.
discovered some true intentions of harm? What was
Yeah.
that?
Yes. Um, my favorite cousin passed away in 2020.
Mm.
And I remember I had a friend at that time. She said something that was so disrespectful
Mm.
about my cousin's death that was a no-brainer. It was no conversations had. I was like, "Oh, hell no. We're
Yeah,
done.
because there's no way.
Never talk to her again."
Yeah, 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 yeah. And see, for me, it's disrespect. I can't tolerate disrespect because I feel like, to your point, it's an intentional thing. Like, yeah, in the moment we might say some stuff that's a little heated that may teeter on that thing of disrespect, but like, it's a line, and it's a clear line. You can visually see, hey, don't cross this boundary. And when people do that, I just feel like you want me to be mad at you. You want me to have a problem with you. Otherwise, because I'm not that type of person. I'm not a disrespectful person off
Yeah,
rip. I'm not just gonna walk in here like, oh, this bitch, you thinking.
right.
I'm kind, I'm nice, I'm personable, I'm happy, go lucky
Yeah.
until, you know what I'm saying? So for me, like, you can't disrespect me because I feel like you've now intentionally tried to say something,
I
do something to
yeah.
hurt me.
I couldn't believe it. I paused. I
Yeah.
was like, wait, like it stopped me in my tracks. Like, wait, what? I couldn't
Yeah.
believe what she said.
That's
And I was
sick.
like, nope, we're done.
That's sick. And kudos to you, for putting up those boundaries, because there are a lot of people who might not, right? Who feel like, well, we've been in this relationship for so long. They didn't mean it, or maybe this or maybe that, but it's like, you also have to have boundaries for yourself and your self-preservation. So, kudos to you for making that decision. So, my last question, I just want to ask, I'm going to be 30, so for anybody like myself, or in their 30s, who are struggling with this friendship, or looking to make new friends, or whatever it might be, what's a little nugget or piece of advice that you would have for us to go on?
Yeah. So I would definitely say in your 30s, your perspective on life completely changes. Like you
Mhm.
start to look at the same stuff you believed in your 20s as like, what? Like, what was
Mhm.
I thinking? In your 30s, your perspective changes. Just be open. You may be friends with someone you haven't been friends with. You never thought you would be friends with.
Yeah.
be open to categorizing your friends. So you may have your work friends, you may have your turn up friends. This is a friend that, you can go to a museum with. This is a
Mm.
friend that you can go to the zoo with.
Yeah.
This is, all of my friends are not dog people.
Yeah.
I love my dog down. Like I gave birth to him. And so I'll get together with some of my dog mom friends
Yeah.
and we'll walk our dogs together or hang out together with our dogs. So, I mean, just categorize your friends. Like it's
Yeah.
okay to have them, and every friend is not good for everything. You
Yes.
may have this friend you go to church with, and
Yeah.
I have friends that are on different walks of life. I have
Mhm.
a friend that's an atheist. I have a
Mm.
friend more spiritual, Christian.
Mhm.
So it's just you have different
Diversify. Yeah,
for
I think that's really excellent advice. And I'm going to really take heed to that because, like I mentioned before, or maybe I didn't clearly express it, but if a friendship fall off, I might not care too much. I'm bad at that. I'm bad at saying, "Hey friend, we really need to connect. Let's put it on the calendar. This is when it's happening." And so I think putting a lot of these developing a lot of these relationships in these different categories allows the opportunity to be fulfilled in whatever those different areas are with other like-minded people, right? Because sometimes it's like, well, this one friend you've been hanging on to, they don't like being outside in the park going for walks or something, and maybe that's really important to you in this season in your life is touching grass, and so that doesn't make them a bad friend or not a good friend for you. That's just not the friend you're going to be going on hikes with, and you deserve still fulfillment in these other areas. You still deserve friendship in these other areas and to connect with people who are like-minded, and it doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you doing too much or doing the most because your homegirl for 17 years don't want to do nothing different, right? Or isn't into the things that you're into. So that's excellent advice. Still try to develop these relationships with different kinds of people, that enjoy the things that you enjoy. So thank you, Tai Tai. I
I have
appreciate
one
it.
more. I have one
Yes.
more. Another thing, be careful how you treat people because
Mm.
you will meet them again.
Mm.
Like, I don't know. I've really
Woo.
learned that this year. I really look at some of the people I've reconnected with. I met back in Michigan in middle
Mm-hmm.
school, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Or this person is the cousin to this old friend.
Yeah.
Or I work with someone who knows someone I know back in Michigan. So you have to really be careful how you treat people. You will meet them again some way, shape, or form. Even if you and a person stop talking, that don't mean go throwing dirt on their name and telling all their
Right.
business,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Seriously, be careful how you treat people. You will
And
meet them
people
again.
never remember what you say, but they will always remember how you make them feel. So
Absolutely.
love it. So tell the people, Tyree, where can we find you? We want more of you. We want you to put those beautiful hands on our beautiful skin. How can we book you? Tell us all the things. What's going on?
Yes, so my website is tyreejartistry.com. I know it's like, how do you spell Tyree? TaireJaiartistry.com. And then my Instagram is Tyree J Artistry. If you type in TAIRE, I should come right up.
Perfect. I just realized our middle names are literally one letter different.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
that's
and
not
you
my full
say
middle
them the
name. I just
same.
shortened it for online. It's not my full middle name.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I was wondering if you said it J or Jai because that's what people do with mine. My name is Tay, but they're like, is it Ty? So I didn't know, but it's
Oh,
J.
got
Love
you.
that. Even better. All right, girl. Well, thank you so much for your time. I have so enjoyed you and I miss you. We need to talk more, friend.
I miss you
Okay.
too, kind.
Okay.
And Hey, don't forget, I did come to see you in Florida in 2018.
Yes, yes, a
Keep
real
that
one. And
in
she
mind.
did. I am due a trip to Texas to visit you on the
Yes,
flip
and
side.
to meet
So
Alfie. I'm just kidding.
yes. All right. I love you, girl. I wish I could put my arms around you, but this virtual hug will have to do. And we'll see you later. Bye.